In the ancient land of Canaan, during a tumultuous period of Israel's history marked by cycles of disobedience and oppression, the story of Gideon, also known as Jerubbaal, unfolded. Gideon, a seemingly ordinary man, would become an unexpected hero through his obedience to God's call and his unwavering faith in the face of daunting challenges. The saga of Gideon began in the town of Ophrah, where he lived with his family. The Israelites, having turned away from God, found themselves once again under the oppression of a foreign power, this time the Midianites. Year after year, the Midianites, along with other neighboring nations, invaded the land, plundering crops and livestock, leaving the Israelites impoverished and desperate. Gideon, initially introduced as a young man threshing wheat in a winepress to hide it from the Midianites, emerged as an unlikely hero. The circumstances of his introduction revealed the pervasive fear that gripped the Israelites, compelling them to carry out essential tasks in secret. It was in this setting that an angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon. The angel's greeting to Gideon was unexpected and filled with significance. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." This title, Mighty Warrior, seemed paradoxical given the dire circumstances the Israelites faced and Gideon's own reservations about his abilities. The angel's proclamation hinted at the transformative journey that Gideon was about to undertake. Gideon, perhaps reflecting the collective doubt and fear of his people, questioned the angel's declaration. He wondered why the Lord had abandoned them and allowed such oppression to persist. The angel responded by assuring Gideon that he would be the instrument through which God would deliver Israel from the hands of the Midianites. However, Gideon sought reassurance through a series of signs. He asked the angel to wait while he prepared an offering, and miraculously, the angel consumed it with fire. Gideon, still uncertain, asked for a second sign involving a fleece, requesting it to be wet with dew while the ground remained dry. Once again, God graciously accommodated Gideon's request. Encouraged by these signs, Gideon rallied his courage and obedience to the divine call. God had chosen him to be a leader and deliverer, despite his initial doubts and reservations. Gideon, now convinced of his mission, was ready to embark on the challenging journey that lay ahead. As Gideon prepared to lead the Israelites into battle against the Midianites, God instructed him to reduce the size of his army. Initially commanding 32,000 men, God deemed this number too large, fearing that the Israelites might attribute their victory to their own strength, rather than recognizing God as the source. Judges chapter 7, verse 2. The Lord said to Gideon, "You have too many men. I cannot deliver Midian into their hands, or Israel would boast against me. My own strength has saved me." The Lord told Gideon to allow any fearful soldiers to leave, and 22,000 departed, leaving Gideon with a mere 10,000 men. But God was not done refining the army. He instructed Gideon to bring the men to the water, and those who lapped the water with their tongues like a dog were chosen, reducing the army to a mere 300 men. Judges chapter 7, verses 4 to 6. Facing an overwhelming Midianite army like a swarm of locusts, Gideon and his small band of warriors were vastly outnumbered. Yet God had a plan to demonstrate his power and ensure that the victory would be attributed to him alone. Guided by the Lord, Gideon divided his 300 men into 3 groups and equipped them with trumpets and empty jars containing torches. In the dead of night, they surrounded the Midianite camp. At Gideon's signal, the men blew their trumpets, broke their jars, and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" The unexpected noise and the appearance of numerous torches created confusion and fear among the Midianites. In the chaos that ensued, they turned on each other, and the Lord routed them before Gideon and the Israelites. The victory was resounding, and Gideon's faith in God's deliverance was affirmed. This triumph over the Midianites not only freed the Israelites from oppression, but also established Gideon as a judge and leader of the people for 40 years. However, in the aftermath of the victory, the people, perhaps forgetting the divine source of their success, urged Gideon to establish a dynastic rule, with Gideon and his descendants as perpetual rulers. Gideon, recognizing the danger of such a request, refused to establish a dynasty, emphasizing that the Lord alone should rule over the people. Despite this declaration, Gideon made an ephod, a sacred object often associated with worship, and placed it in his hometown of Ophrah. Over time, the ephod became a source of idolatry, and the Israelites drifted away from the worship of the one true God. As Gideon continued to lead the people, he faced personal challenges within his family. His many wives bore him 70 sons, but Gideon also had a concubine in Shechem who bore him a son named Abimelech. After Gideon's death, Abimelech, driven by ambition, killed his 70 brothers and declared himself king. The consequences of Gideon's lapse into idolatry and the subsequent events involving Abimelech highlighted the ongoing struggle of the Israelites to remain faithful to God. The incident with the ephod revealed the persistent temptation to turn to idolatry and the consequences of deviating from true worship. Gideon's journey, from a doubtful farmer to a mighty warrior and leader, reflects the transformative power of God's call and the importance of remaining steadfast in faith despite challenges and uncertainties. His story also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of idolatry and the need for consistent obedience to God's commands. In the latter years of Gideon's leadership, the land experienced peace for 40 years. Gideon, having witnessed the faithfulness of God in delivering Israel, passed away, leaving a legacy of courage and obedience. His story became a crucial part of Israel's history, reminding future generations of the importance of relying on God's strength and remaining faithful to his commands. The narrative of Gideon and his army, intricately woven with themes of doubt, faith, obedience, and the consequences of straying from God's path, resonates as a timeless and profound account. Gideon, an ordinary man chosen by God for an extraordinary task, exemplifies the transformative impact of divine intervention and the power of unwavering faith in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. His legacy serves as a beacon for all who seek to navigate the complexities of life with reliance on the Almighty. Thank you for watching. We hope you learned something new from this video. God bless you. Amen.